you are going to have to ignore my puppies in the background because this is the best lighting in the house. We're going to make our keychains. So you'll take one of your pieces of rope and make the ends even so that you also have the loop on that side. And you will take your loop, take it off this for right now, and you're going to put it through the hole and then put your fingers through it. Grab the two pieces of rope, pull through, and then just snug it down. So you'll have the little piece in the front and your ends are going to be fairly even. You don't need to be too worried about that, but try to keep them even. So you're going to put all 4 pieces of your rope on like that. Let's do that. Through, and then grab it. And snug it down. And now we're ready to get started. We're going to do the same type of knot for the entire keychain, which makes it really, oops, didn't mean to bump you guys, sorry. Really fun and easy. So we're going to start with our 4th string from the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is going to be our guide, and we're going to go this direction. So holding the guide rope in your hand, you'll come to the next string by it. See how it's underneath? You're going to take it and you're going to cross it over, just like that, and pull it through. And then slide it up. And you really actually want to do all of these very nice and snug. It'll make your keychain look clean and professional, but especially the first part of that half hitch. It's called a half clover hitch. So then again, we're gonna go like that. We went over it, through the hole, and slide it up. So you'll always do 2 on each rope. So I'm still holding the guide rope in my hand and I'm going to the next one and see how it's underneath. And I'm going to go over, through, and then slide it up. And I'm always kind of pushing the knot to the back with my finger and rolling that front piece up with my thumb. So it's almost like pushing the working rope to the back and hanging onto the guide and pulling it to the front. So that was 1 on this one, and we'll do a second one. So again, cross over, pull through. That was 2 on that rope. And then on our last one, it's behind it. We cross over, pull through. That's 1 and 2. Okay, so that's one side should look like. Now we're gonna go do this side, the right side, and we're gonna use that 4th from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, this guy. It's pretty obvious because this one's up in that knot. And we're gonna go that direction now. So this is where you're like, your brain's gonna be working for a second, but once you figure it out, it's usually harder for whatever, if you're right-handed, your right side will be harder. And if you're left-handed, your left side will be harder. It's just a strange little thing. So this is my working rope. It has crossed over, or this is my guide rope. These are my working ropes. So my guide rope is crossed over. So I'm going to take my first rope here and I'm going to go cross over and pull it through and snug it up. And then one more time, cross over, pull it through, and snug it up. Okay, let's do it for the next working rope, this guy right here. So he's underneath the guide rope. I'm crossing him over. I don't know why I said it was a him. And pulling it through. And then slide him up. And then we need to do one more crossover. Pull it through the loop. And slide it up. And again, you see how I keep using my nails to tell the knot where I want it to land. And then we need to do one more. So we're going to cross over like that. And then go get it. Pull it through. Slide it up. And it's really, these edge ones, it's important that that first time you slide it up, pull it so nice and snug because it'll keep this part straight right there. And the great thing is after you're finished, you can kind of wiggle it around to make it work the way you want. So I slid it up and I have to do one more. Crossover, pull it through. Slide it up. Okay, so our first row is done and y'all, we only have to do 4 in total. So you are cruising. Okay, so now we're going to go do the second row. And that is, we're going to work again on the left, but we're going to start with the 5th cord, which is actually the first cord coming out of the right-hand side. So 5th cord from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to be our guide rope going this direction. Now, again, if you remember, guide rope, working rope. Working rope is always behind, and it's going to cross over, go through. Snug it down nice and tight. Look how pretty that center one is now. And then one more time, because we do it 2 times on each working rope. And pull it back. There we go. Now let's go do our next one. Right here, working rope, guide rope, going this direction. Cross over, pull through, slide up. Cross over, pull through, slide up. Now we got to go do this side. So we're going to take, we have 3 working ropes over here, and this is our guide rope. So we're going to cross that one over. And remember, our working ropes are underneath, never over. So working ropes underneath, then you cross over, go through the loop, and slide up. There we go. I don't know if you saw me before, I was pulling up and it wasn't working right. So I put my hand to the back with the working rope and then it slid it right into place. And that was the first one. Let's do it again. Okay. And now we've got number 2 here. Cross over, pull through, slide up. That was number. Isn't that cool? So quick and easy. So now we're going to add our bead. So you're going to kind of untangle your ropes. Sorry for that wiggling. I don't have any tape. Sometimes if you can't stand the noise, I tape it down right there. But we are going to get the 2 center ropes. And I'm going to trim the ends so that they're the same size. And then I'm going to take a little piece of tape and just wrap up the end so that I'm making like a little needle. That was a lot of tape I pulled off. Okay. And then you'll take your wooden bead and just thread it through. Sometimes it just takes some twisting because it is thicker rope, but you'll be able to get it through. And then once I've pulled it through, come on, buddy. There. I kind of like let the ball dangle to unravel it, or not unravel, but untangle it. That way when I'm sliding it up, I'm not tangling my rope. Now it's all untwisted, so I'm just gonna slide it up, making sure it doesn't twist. And then I'm gonna come back to my bottom end and snip that tape off. And now we are ready to roll. Okay, so previously we were working from the center going out, and now we're gonna go from the outside to the center 2 times, and then you're done. So this is our guide rope for 4 of them going this direction. You know what, let's use this clear tape and see if it'll, hold, stay down. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Guide rope going this direction. So, working ropes underneath. It's going to come cross over and then be pulled through the hole. And you make sure it's nice and tight. And then do it one more time. And slide it up. And there we go. Okay. Now the next row, crossed over it, pull through, slide up. Remember 2 times on every rope. Here we go, cross over. Whoop. That one can be confusing because it's coming through there, so just double check that you're still underneath. Cross over it, pull through, slide up, cross over, pull through, slide up. Okay, so that's the first side. Now we'll come over to this side and we're going to do the same thing going this direction. So here's my guide rope. These are my working rope. Don't need to worry about those guys right now because they're just going to hang out on the other side. Working ropes underneath, coming across and through. And yes, I just heard myself say across with a T. My kids tease me about that. 2 on that side. And go grab the next one. It's underneath it. Cross over and through. So now though, you see how we have this like gap right here? We got to close it off. So I'm going to go over to this one and add him to my group. So this is still my guide rope. So this guy's got to be underneath. And I'm going to cross over, pull through. I had to think about that for a second. Did you see me? And then one more time. You guys might have to slow that one down and just take a look at what I did. So, okay, look at that. Everybody happy so far? We've got one more row and then we're done. So, what I like to do is for the final row, I work on this side for 4, and then I'm going to finish it on this side, or for 3. So this is my working rope again, coming across. Okay. You'll see in a second why I chose to do that. So now let's come to this side and let's do it again. Guide rope, working rope, crossing over it and pulling through. And then I'm going to come back from this side and go get him, because then I'll make a nice V. So over, through, and then over and through. And look, you just did your whole thing in under 20 minutes. Isn't that amazing? So now we just have to finish it off. Take the tape off, flip your little guy around, admire your pretty stitching in the back, and you're going to take a loose piece of thread, and you're going to take the end piece and kind of hold it up against the ball, the wooden ball, and make a tiny little loop that can just hang out. So now I've tacked it down there. I'm going to gather these guys. This part doesn't have to be super perfect because you can kind of fix it as you go, but you're just gathering everything in on itself. So it's like a nice little pinch with your loop, if I can find mine, available. Come on. Right there. Okay. So you're just going to wrap it around one, and you want to keep it really snug if you can. Sometimes this takes a friend helping you out. There's one. There's two, and I'll do one more. But then before I do anything else, I like to make sure that when I flip it around, I'm okay with it. Because like that, I would want a little further up. Okay. So now, whoop, this is the piece that you wrapped around that's loose. You're going to go to that loop. Come on, buddy. There it is. Okay, and you're going to take your piece and you're going to go through your loop from the top. Drop it down. And then this is the magic part. Ooh, I didn't mean to bump you guys, sorry. You are going to take that. You're pulling on that, but it's tightening this. So make sure that stays where you need it. And then before you pull it super tight, make sure it's staying in the back. Go ahead and trim this edge off. And then, come on, pull it up, and you're hiding it underneath your rope that you wrapped around. And then you'll just trim this top guy off. And kind of hide him. And then it's absolutely secure. You just finished your keychain. We just have to do the ends. And if you don't like anything that's sticking out down here, you just find, like that's a little loose for me right there. If I'm being picky, you find what cord it is and gently pull them. Where are you? There it is, maybe. There it is, got it. Okay, and then I push it back. Okay, so let's take it off. Actually, no, let's do our little cut. So this is just like you're cutting, giving yourself a little hair trim. And I just snip them all. Towel. Ooh, this is the artsy side in me. Nothing's ever straight. This is why I could never cut hair. Everything's at an angle for me. Okay, that looks good. And then everything's finished. You trimmed it off. You set it down. This isn't, I promise you, this isn't dog hair. This is for me doing another demo one. But you need that type of metal brush. You could probably do it with a comb, but this is so much easier. And you just brush it off, or out. Okay, and that's it. And then if it's too long for you, you could trim it a little bit more. Cute. And you're all ready to go.